Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Dubk Said again, part 2b. This time we're going to be talking about spellbooks going into the North American World Championship qualifier. What I feel spellbooks have over the rest of the meta, these 8 decks, and what I feel that they're lacking. And just an aside, I'll probably have to do an addendum later on because people are whining that I missed their pet decks, even though I said at the beginning not to whine about your pet decks. Infernities, Madolches. I mean, of course, they're going to show up, but the thing about those other decks is the cards that you're citing for these 8 decks will work for Madolche and Infernity. Whatever you side against Sylvans or Dragon Rulers or even Lightsworn, aka graveyard based decks, hell, even Bujins, will work against Madolche, will work against uh, Infernities, your Needle Ceilings, Macrocosmos, Dimensional Fissures, all those things, Max C, all those cards that work against these three, that are good against those three, will work against those. So that's why I didn't really feel the need to mention them. So maybe I won't have to do the addendum. Moving on. Spellbooks. Spellbook of Fate is the bane of existence to Bujins, to Girgias, to Mermails, to frickin' Dragon Rulers, to Lightsworn. These decks put out cards that don't like to be targeted or destroyed. Fate says, I gives no fucks. Azure Dragon doesn't like to be destroyed or targeted by effects. Spellbook of Fated. You know, you got that set armor. You do all your blue boy shenanigans, and you fade it. Oh, your motto, you have crane in hand, turtle in hair engraved. Awesome. Fade it. It's pretty nice. Abyss Gaius you got there. Be ashamed if somebody were to fade it. Just on and on and on. Just Fate does so much wonder, so many things to these decks. You got that Dragon Ruler sitting there, that Draco Sag, that awesome looking Judgment Dragon, fade it. Problem is, you can only fate once per turn. You only have one fate, so you have to recycle that one thing carefully. So that requires you to carefully time your world drops, use Priestess to its maximum ability. If you decide to play the Priestess, I like both builds the same. The Priestess builds and the World builds. They both, I feel, can do very well. I'm not too hip on the Spellbook hand deck so much. I heard it was a thing, but I don't think it's real yet. I've seen it played. I wasn't impressed. It just seems like more normal summons in a deck that doesn't really want a normal summon. But I've been wrong before. When it comes to your Lightsworn, matchup, getting set up early with if you're playing the World variant, if you know you're playing Lightsworns, get World out there ASAP, and then just be wary of Michael because if they can't banish your World, then they drop Judgment Dragon, you drop World. They drop Judgment Dragon, you drop World, and World backed with Fate and various traps should secure you the game. You really don't have a whole lot to fear from the regular guys. I mean, your main threats are maybe an early Crimson Blader or late Crimson Blader when you're counting on bringing World back, which Lightsworns can make, and possibly Michael banishing a priestess or your World or something like that. Those I feel are your main threats. Lila popping your traps before they drop their big guys. But you run enough traps. I've seen these spellbook players run upwards of 10 traps. And then combine that with Fate, spellbook of power. You can steal games dropping those multiple priestesses, and then power, master power, make it even bigger. Swinging direct for 4,500. Straight up ending games. So I don't think that um, the game that matchup is unwinnable. I just think that Just like with every other deck when they go against Lightsworn, just making sure that they don't get their optimal mills, watching out for their boss drops, and then playing smart or playing correctly. One of the things that's kind of annoying, that I was talked to a spellbook player about, was that you can't side Light Imprisoning Mirror because that shuts off your Priestess and World. So that kind of sucks. But again, you can side Fissure. Fissure works pretty good against them. Too bad it's a one. Dragon Rulers, this was like all the rage. These two decks, Dragon Rulers versus Spellbooks, last year at Nats, and it seems like the key to that was Kaiku and Jowgen. Well, we don't have the easy Kaiku Jowgen setup, so you just have to just keep their monsters off the board every turn. They sometimes you can get overwhelmed with the soul charge plays, but I've seen good spellbook players dismantle soul charge just off of Blue Boy. They'll have their soul charge field, and next thing you know, the dragon player has no field, and then the spellbook player has a Blue Boy, two back row, tower, and a spellbook of fate in the graveyard, with a banished Felgrand or Zur Dragon, in a remove from play pile. So, you know, careful play, smart play. Artifacts. This can be kind of frustrating because of the disruption. Keeping your tower off the field with Ignition, Murmillo, Popping Tower, the Fire Fist variant, not even having to attack into the world, those kind of things, and just popping the world for free. Their ability to make Cardinal, shuffling the world back into your deck so that you have to redraw the damn thing. Those kind of things can be frustrating as a spellbook player, but just be mindful that Spellbook of Fate banishes the Sanctums and banishes the Ignitions, and you're not worried about destroying them. And then don't be a scrub and drop Priestess and pop a single back row. But I do feel that it's smart to drop World and destroy everything. And I say that because, so let's say you summon World, you pick up your 2 books, they Traptrix Nightmare, you Wisdom, and then you proceed to nuke their Sanctums and their Ignitions and all the other stuff. So what, you lose World. Next turn, you just bring back World and nuke them again. Backed up with the Wisdom. I don't think that matchup would be a problem for you. Mermails, just freaking, they put so much pressure on you. Same with Gear Gear. If you're not banishing the armor, they can put pressure on you as early as turn 2 in phase Gear Gear Gear. They can overwhelm and flood the board, so you have to be wary of that. The good sideboard cards, Blackhorn, Needle Sealing, those kind of things, well-timed World Nukes, those kind of things will keep you in the game. Traditionally, Boojins have been a buy for spellbook players, because Spellbook of Fate doesn't target. And as a Boojin player myself, I hate the spellbook matchup. It's like I never have enough effect failures. I never have enough effect failures for Blue Boy, and I hate using effect veiler on Blue Boy because they always have the Book of Moon, or they'll fate their dude face down, get their effect. I have to kill the Blue Boy, and then they get another book, and they recycle fate, and they fate my Yamato anyway, or they fate my Kagetsuchi, or they fake my Susanoo, and it's frustrating as hell. So tradition has been a buy. And then finally, Sylvans, those Felgrand setups, Field Spell War is going to be very real. When I've been playing against spellbook players, I found that I'm losing games because they were able to resolve their tower more times than I was able to resolve Sylvania. They were able to resolve secrets more times than I was able to resolve Charity, Sylvan Charity, and making sure that as a spellbook player that you're not allowing them to resolve their field spell, not allowing them to establish board presence, taking advantage of the fact that Sylvans can open slow at times, and when they do their Curry Bandit mill pass with an empty field, that's your time to put as much damage as possible, making their soul charge like virtually ineffective. You know, you drop them down the best way you can under 3 to 4 thousand, or under 4 to 3 thousand, and then they have a pitiful soul charge play. And you know, then if they soul charge for any amount, they're dangerously low to get hit with a spellbook power plus master play over one of their guys for game. Well, that's pretty much it for spellbooks. You know, you don't have to really spend much time talking about them because this deck has been in existence for a couple years, and everybody knows how to play with and against them. I just thought it was pertinent to talk about their matchups with these new decks in the meta: Sylvans, Artifacts, Resurgence of Lightstorm. Oh, this is Dubk Dad. Stay tuned for the next episode, and I'll hit you guys later. Peace.